To get back to Kunark, Lagar first had to get out of Guk, and the fastest way to do that was to, well, die. The froglocks were hitting so softly that it took a while for Lagar to get killed. He knew he would lose some experience, but since he was bound in the Common Lands tunnel, the time he was going to save traveling there would be worth it. The only thing that he did not consider was that he could de-level while losing experience, and that was exactly what happened. It was a little humiliating going from 37 to 36, to say the least. Anyways, instead of taking a translocator like he did going from Kunark to Antonica, Lagar would try to find a fellow druid or wizard to teleport him directly to Kunark, more specifically to the Skyfire Mountains, which was close to Karnor's castle. The Common Lands tunnel was packed with adventurers buying and selling their loot. Lagar was amazed at the sight. Someone whispered offering to teleport Lagar and Mizu. He looked down and saw a gnome wizard smiling at him. The tip was almost 10% of all the platinum coins that Lagar had, but he needed that teleport. Lagar was back at Kunark in a blink of an eye. Oh, the familiar scent of his homeland was invigorating, even though the sight of dead dragons around him was a little terrifying. He had never been to Skyfire before. He quickly ran south to the burning woods. He would not like to face a worm in these mountains. There was a neat trick to cross the burning woods fast. Since he lacked the skills to evacuate his group to the safe spot there, Lagar simply picked another instance of the zone and was instantly next to the Dreadlands. Karnor's castle was closed now. Lagar started running into the Dreadlands, but Mizu asked him to wait. "I have a surprise for you," said the shaman. "Last night at Guk, I won this awesome loot for you." A flowing black silk sash. Lagar was shocked. That's the famous FBSS. 21% haste is going to be awesome for the monk. The pearlescent mask and the diamond in earring are also very good old world items. Lagar thanked his friend and was now more than ready to face the Drolvargs and the undead in the next zone. Karnor's castle was built centuries ago, during the height of the Ixar Empire, led by Venril Sathir. He united the 5 warring Ixar tribes of Kunark into one cohesive empire, the Empire of Ik, before getting killed by his own son, Venril Sathir. Rumor has it he has returned as a powerful Lich and has been seen by adventurers somewhere inside Karnor's castle. No first-hand witnesses confirm these rumors, but that may be justified, as a close encounter with an undead Venril Sathir may result in a quick death. Lagar disregarded these rumors and thought that may be just folklore. The outside of Karnor's castle was very impressive, even partially in ruins. Lagar and Mizu ran past 2 Drolvargs without picking a fight, as his group was waiting for them. The monk and the shaman were greeted by their group with a Drolvarg sentry and a rain of fire. Legend says the Drolvargs were once Ixars, transformed into lycanthropes by a terrible curse. If what people say is true, the Lord of the Drolvargs is the reborn Venril Sathir, now an Ixar vampire. Lagar did not necessarily believe it, but didn't want to take chances. So he started pulling the Drolvargs that were stationed at the entrance of the castle. He did not want to go too far into Karnor for now. Either there was some kind of invisible barrier, or the Drolvargs are a little indecisive if they want to cross the bridge to get out of the castle, as that sentry kept going forward, then backwards, then forward again. What a strange pathing. He finally crossed the bridge and the group could strike him safely from the other Drolvargs. Lagar was still looking at his belt from time to time, as if making sure he was really wearing an FBSS. His punches and kicks were much faster now, and he was amazed. He was carefully pulling the mobs one by one, as they were much stronger than the Froglocks of Guk. He was getting to know the entrance of Karnors. Another turn right and up the stairs, but this time Lagar got as far as the suspended bridge between the two towers. A little later that evening, he pulled a sentry that asked some help from a Drolvarg guardian. The lycanthropes were already fearing the group. Confidence grew, of course, and so for the next pull, Lagar would go all the way to the left tower, get the attention of a sentry and a guardian, and simply jump down into the water, while the Drolvargs carefully went down the stairs to meet their fate. Lagar was ready to go deeper into Karnor's castle. While moving through the second bridge, he saw a spectral color in the water. He tried pulling from the bridge, but he took one step too far to the left and fell into the water. He tried to grab the edge of the bridge and pull himself up, but for some reason he was not able to. He tried once again in another spot to no avail. He was stunned and another mob aggroed him. He used Feign Death to stop getting hit. Amorbius tried to extend his hand to Lagar and pull him up, but his tiny hands could not reach the monk. The halfling rogue was prepared to get Lagar's corpse, but Lagar was not giving up. He dived and tried swimming to the entrance of the castle, but he was low on health. He had already used Mend and could not move again, risking a death blow from the nearby mobs. He was holding his breath carefully, but would soon run out of breath. At the corner of his eye, he saw Aramis bordering the water trying to heal him, but he was out of range. He would need to move a little bit closer. Almost out of breath and weak, Lagar swam closer to Aramis and was finally healed. He took a breath and headed to the entrance after experiencing a traumatic near-death. On his way out of the water, he pulled a skeletal guardian since his previous pull failed. After killing some more Drolvarg sentries and guardians, they finally downed the captain. Feeling inspired, and because there would be no water involved, Lagar got up to the second floor of the castle gates and pulled every Drolvarg standing in his way. With the castle gates now empty, Lagar and his group moved to the right courtyard, also known as RCY, to set up camp. As they went deeper into Karnor, the more common was to find undead. One of those undead, a skeletal scryer, appeared wearing a most valuable club. Lagar heard stories of the Adamantied club and thought he was closer to put his hands on one of them. And he was right. From now on, Lagar needed not to trust in his fists alone. He was going to equip the club on his primary hand and wait to find another weapon for his secondary hand. The group was getting stronger, so they would wipe all the mobs on the courtyard before any repop. Lagar had to go back to the castle gates to find some more Drolvargs willing to fight. The monk followed a skeletal scryer underwater and tried to fish the mob, but he unfortunately got rooted. He was at full life, but his breath was slowly dwindling. The root took a long time to wear off, and this time Lagar choked to his own death, unable to breathe. The next evening they returned to the castle to camp at the left courtyard. Lagar now had 2 weapons, but the composition of the group was a little different, so they had to be more careful. They fought more undead and got some nice experience that second night, although more slowly. There was also some good loot from the skeletal berserkers. Thankfully, Lagar saw no signs of Venril Sathir. He was either way deeper into Karnor's castle, or it was a legend after all. It was time to move, to face greater challenges. After looting a strange metal pipe from one of the undead in Karnor's castle, he felt it was finally time to see what he would have never dreamed of some months ago. His next stop would be what once was the great capital of the Ixer Empire, Sabilis. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep following the journey of Lagar and his friends. I'll see you next time.